Welcome to ANU Orientation Week. My name is Alexander Vadiliev. I am a senior lecturer in finance at the College of Business and Economics, and I am a Bachelor of Finance convener. And first of all, I would like to welcome you to the Australian National University, and I specifically would like to thank you for your interest in taking studies in finance at our university. In our brief talk today, I would like to overview the Bachelor of Finance degree, and later I am also happy to answer some of your questions that you might have regarding this degree. So the brief outline for our talk today is as follows. So first of all, we will discuss the concept of finance. Then I would like to bring more details about the structure of the finance degree, and we continue with discussion on the major of within the finance degree. So more specifically, we will talk about three specific majors within the degree. Then we move on and talk about honors year, the possibility to take honors year within the Bachelor of Finance degree. And finally, I would like to say a few words about possible career paths that are potentially open to you once you successfully graduate from the Australian National University. So, what is finance? So, broadly speaking, finance is a study of financial instruments, financial institutions, financial markets, and systems. And here at ANU, in our finance studies, we focus on three main ideas or three main pillars of finance. The first one is the time value of money. So the time value of money is arguably the most powerful concept in finance. And in simple words, it says that $1 today is not equal to $1 tomorrow. And there is a whole bunch of economic reasons why $1 today is not equal to $1 tomorrow. For example, inflation or opportunity cost, and so on and so on. So this is one of the most important idea in finance, the time value of money. The second important idea or concept in finance is diversification. So in simple words, it says that never put all your eggs in one basket. So you need to be able to diversify your risk. And during your study at ANU, you will learn about two particular sources of risk: systematic and non-systematic risk. Systematic risk is a risk that we cannot diversify, and actually investors are happy to take this risk because this risk is a source of potential return or positive rate of return. On the other hand, we have unsystematic or idiosyncratic risk, and this is a risk that we can diversify away. At ANU, we will teach you, we will explain you how you can diversify away unnecessary risk, but at the same time to take systematic risk and generate a positive rate of return by taking this risk. The third concept is arbitrage. And we'll discuss this concept in more details when we will talk about asset pricing and in portfolio management courses. In either first or second semester of your first year of study, you will be taking a fundamental course in finance, which is titled Foundations of Finance, and this course will introduce you to each of these ideas, to each of these concepts. So let's talk briefly about the structure of the finance degree. Broadly speaking, there are two main ways to study finance at undergraduate level at ANU. So the first way is to take a major in finance within the Bachelor of Commerce degree. And the second option is to undertake the Bachelor of Finance degree. And in today's talk, I will concentrate mostly on the Bachelor of Finance degree. Having said that, please be aware that there is a lot of similarity between the structure of the Bachelor of Finance degree and the major in finance within the Bachelor of Commerce degree. So, in order to successfully complete your Bachelor of Finance degree, you must satisfy the following requirements. So, we have two types of requirements. The first type of requirements is called global study requirements. So, within global study requirements, you have to take 144 units. So I assume that each course, each subject is 6 units. So in total, you have to take 24 courses, 6 units each. So in total, 144 units. And at ANU, at the College of Business and Economics, normal enrollment consists of 24 units, or in other words, 4 courses, 6 units each within a semester. Also, you can take a maximum of 60 units that come from 1,000 level courses. So 1,000 level courses are first year courses. So again, the maximum what you can take from 1,000 level courses is 60 units. On the other hand, you must take a minimum of 18 courses from 3,000 level courses. And the other requirements that a minimum of 12 units of courses must be tagged as transdisciplinary problem-solving courses. So these 3 requirements must be met, and these 3 requirements are part of a global study requirement. Okay, let me repeat that all in all, you have to complete 144 units. A maximum of 60 units may come from first year courses. A minimum of 18 units or 6 courses must come from 3,000 level courses. And 2 courses or 12 units must be tagged as transdisciplinary problem-solving courses. The other type of requirements called essential study requirements, okay? And the 144 units mentioned from the previous slide must include and must satisfy these requirements. So first of all, 30 units must be taken from the following 5 compulsory or mandatory courses. So as you can see, 2 courses are economics courses, 1 is business course, 1 is finance course, and 1 is statistics course. So the first course is business course, which is a business reporting and analysis. The following 2 courses are from economics, microeconomics 1 and microeconomics 2. The 4th course on this list is a foundation of finance. I already briefly mentioned this course, so it's a foundational course that you can take either in the first or second semester in your first year of study. So this course is titled Foundation of Finance. And the last course that you have to take is titled Quantitative Research Method and the Statistics course. So again, 5 courses, 6 units each, in total 30 units that you have to take and successfully complete. So this is the first requirement within essential study requirements. The next requirement is that you need to take 6 units or 1 course from completion of a course from this short list. So you can either take a macroeconomics 1 or economics 1 for within honors year. So again, you can take one of these courses. The following requirement is that you need to take 12 units or 2 courses from completion of a course from the following list. So you see the list, which include math courses, finance courses, business statistics courses. And again, you need to take 12 units or 2 courses from this list. I would like to bring your attention to the course titled Student Managed Fund or Student Managed Fund Extension. And as you can see in the footnote, enrollment in the Student Managed Fund courses require 12 units or 2 courses over 2 consecutive semesters. So students have to take 2 courses over 2 consecutive teaching semesters. If you're interested in this course, please follow the link mentioned at the bottom of the slide, and you can collect more information about Student Managed Fund. So again, let me repeat that this requirement requires that you take 2 courses from this list. Then the next question that students typically have, can I complete a major within my Bachelor of Finance degree? The answer is yes. You actually must take one of the majors. And within the Bachelor of Finance degree, we offer three majors. So students have to choose only one major, and typically one major consists of 48 units, or in other words, eight 6-unit courses, eight 6-unit courses. So students have three options: either to complete Asian capital markets, or to complete capital markets, or quantitative finance major. And in a minute, I will discuss these majors in more details. So let's talk about the first major, which is called Asian capital markets major. So as I just said, this major, like any other major, requires the completion of 48 units. And 6 courses, or 18 units, must be taken from the following courses. So in other words, students have to successfully complete the following 3 courses. The first course is corporate finance. The second course is derivatives. And the third course is investments. And by the way, I would like to bring your attention that we have recently changed the code for the investment course. So the new code for the investment course is FIN 3011. So this is undergraduate investment course. So on top of these 3 courses, students have to take one of the following courses: either regression modeling course or regression modeling for actuarial studies. So as you can see from the codes, these are statistics courses. Then students, once they completed 4 courses from these 2 requirements, then students need to take 24 units equivalent to 3,000 level units from an approved university exchange partners in Asia. So ANU has a vast list of university partners in Asia Pacific region, and students need to choose a particular partner, but this partner has to be from this list, from our approved university exchange partners, and spend a semester overseas. So 24 units, again, it should be equivalent to 6 units at ANU. So in other words, it should be equivalent to 4 courses at ANU. And from 2025, there is no option to do the Asian capital markets by just studying at ANU onshore. So students must spend a semester, or in other words, they must gain 24 units equivalent to our courses at ANU, but they must spend their time at our exchange partners. I have to mention that courses taken while on exchange must be pre-approved by the convener of the Bachelor of Finance, and they must focus on financial and capital markets in an Asian context. So in other words, before you proceed with your study at our university exchange partner, you must choose courses that you want to take, and these courses must be pre-approved by the convener of the Bachelor of Finance. So because I am the Bachelor of Finance convener, so I have to pre-approve your choices of courses. And also I have to stress that these courses cannot be general finance courses in nature. So for example, you cannot take courses like corporate finance or investment or derivatives. So the courses that you take at our university exchange partners, they must focus on business, economics, financial and capital markets in an Asian context. So in other words, they must focus on Asian business, they must focus on Asian capital markets, on Asian business environment, and so on and so on. So again, these courses must be pre-approved by the Bachelor of Finance convener, and they must focus on Asian business, economics, and finance. If you want to gain more details, if you want to get more details about this major, please follow the link mentioned, provided at the bottom of this slide. And again, if you have any question about this major, please feel free to contact me. The other major is capital markets major. So this major requires the completion of 48 units, and these units must include the following. So 42 units or 7 courses must be taken from the following list. So you can see that there is a list of 7 courses that students must successfully complete. And the list include corporate finance course, derivatives course, corporate valuation course, financial intermediation and debt capital markets course, applied portfolio construction, the course on investments, and corporate strategy course. So all in all, as you can see, 7 courses. Then on top of these 7 courses of 42 units, students must choose again either regression modeling course or regression modeling for actuarial studies course. So all in all, as you can see, students must complete 8 courses. Again, if you want to gain more information about this course, to get more details about this major, please follow the link provided at the bottom of this slide. And the last major that students may want to consider is quantitative finance major. Again, students must complete 48 units, and these units include the following courses. So first of all, students have to complete 6 courses or 36 units from the following list. So again, these courses are standard: corporate finance course, derivatives course, investment course, continuous time finance course, advanced derivatives pricing and applications course, and the course on the introduction to stochastic processes. So as you can see, the difference from this major, the key difference between this major and the other majors, that this particular major extensively focuses on quantitative finance. That's why it's called quantitative finance major. So students have to take quantitative finance courses such as continuous time series, advanced derivatives pricing, and stochastic processes. And I have to say that this major requires decent knowledge in mathematics. So I think that this major would be a good fit for students who have passion in mathematics, who have strong mathematical skills, and who have strong background in mathematics and maybe from other quantitative fields. So on top of these 6 courses or 36 units, students also have to choose one of the following courses: either introductory mathematical statistics or introductory mathematical statistics for actuaries. So either or. So 6 units or 1 course. And the final requirement here is that students have to take 1 course from this, from either regression modeling course or regression modeling course for actuarial studies. So again, 8 courses in total. 3 courses, corporate finance, derivatives, and investments, are the same across all 3 majors, but the other 5 courses are quantitative finance courses. So these courses are quite challenging, demanding, and that's why, let me repeat, I would like to repeat that students should have a strong mathematical background in order to successfully complete these courses. Now, is there a possibility or option to take an honors year? The answer is yes. We do offer honors year in finance within the Research School of Finance, Actuarial Studies, and Statistics. But I have to be but I have to say, and I have to be honest with you, that the entry to the honors program is very competitive. So we usually admit from 5 to 8, on average, from 5 to 8 finance honor student, and the admission is quite competitive. The entry requirements are high, and I would say that it's available only for those students who excel in their past degree in their past 3 years. And honors year is no doubt demanding, but also rewarding. And it definitely assists students in developing technical and analytical skills, and the skills would definitely benefit students' future career and maybe postgraduate studies. At the end, during your honors year, students must complete a thesis. So in addition to coursework, students also have to take and complete a research thesis. And typically, standard thesis consists of about 15,000 words, but it should be a high quality, independent piece of research. And students who are genuinely interested in the honors program should contact the honors convener in our school for further advice. So you can find the contact details on our website. So if you want to consult about the possibility to take honors year, please feel free to contact our honors convener within our school. So just a few words about future career, because at the end of the day, education is a significant investment. So you devote your time, you devote your money, and you need to think about the return on your education. So again, education is a big, big investment. And I think that ANU, at our college, at our school, studying finance gives an excellent grounding in critical, independent thinking and analysis. And critical thinking and independent analysis are always beneficial in any career path, not only in finance, but also in any other career path that you might want to pursue. I have experience in both industry and academia. I mean, in finance industry and finance academia. And I can tell you that jobs in finance, they're well paid, and that's why people want to pursue careers in finance. They're very well paid, perhaps one of the best paid jobs in the world. But on the other hand, jobs in finance are very competitive, they're challenging, but also very interesting. And quite might be surprisingly, but jobs in finance, even quantity finance jobs, they're still mostly people oriented. So you have to collaborate, you have to interact with people with people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, and you would do it throughout your career in finance. So again, let me repeat: the jobs in finance are very interesting. They're challenging and competitive, but they're also well paid, and you would interact a lot with other interesting people. Because I have to say, I have to acknowledge that finance industry attracts lots of interesting, smart people from all over the world. And this list, of course, no way is complete or full, but it just gives you some ideas what positions you might want to take after you complete your study at ANU, once you complete your finance degree at ANU. So, for example, you may want to become an investment analyst, and for example, you may want to make recommendations on particular financial instruments, whether to buy, hold, or sell a particular financial instrument, whether it's stock or bond or any other financial asset. You actually may want to pursue a career as a management consultant, and you can advise companies on different corporate transactions, for example, M&A transactions. You may want to become a commercial banker, and you will need to assess to make a decision whether you want to give a financing to a company. You may want to become a finance specialist within a company and eventually to become a chief financial officer or a finance executive. And in this job, you will need to raise funding for the company. You will need to make investment decisions for the company. You may also want to become a financial planner, and financial planners help clients to invest their savings, to make the most profitable investment decisions, and to develop investment, retirement strategies on behalf of your clients. You may want to become a venture capitalist, and venture capitalists fund and assist young companies to develop new products, new technologies, new services, and help them to grow and become profitable and large. You may want to become a currency trader, For example, you may want to help your bank or your company to manage currency risk or currency exposures. Or another potential and lucrative career, especially in Australia, is a superannuation fund manager, superannuation fund analyst. As you know, superannuation is a huge industry in Australia, and it's very closely related to portfolio management, and you might help to set up, to establish portfolio structures for superannuation funds on behalf of their members. So this list, of course, let me repeat, is not a complete list. There are other potential careers that you might consider, for example, like investment banker or trader, and so on and so on. But it just gives you some ideas what positions, what careers you can pursue once you complete your finance study at ANU. And just very briefly mentions that there is a whole bunch of professional associations that might help you during your career and during your study. Some of them are country specific, for example, Australia specific. Some of them international, global associations. So I strongly recommend my students to consider, in addition to study at ANU, maybe when you complete your study at ANU, or maybe at the end of your study at ANU, you may want to consider some professional destinations, for example, a chartered financial analyst or chartered alternative investment analyst destination. So no doubt they would be beneficial to your success and career, and they will definitely complement your studies at ANU. But you can also collect a lot of useful information about industry, about different jobs, if you just follow some links provided on the slide, and hopefully you will find some of the information useful and beneficial to you. So please feel free to follow the links and collect information about the industry, about the jobs, and about possible careers in finance. I also would like to mention that at ANU we have different students clubs and societies, and they're fascinating, they're interesting. So in addition to your hard work and study at ANU, you also have some time for some fun, but this fun could be very joyful, and you might enjoy your time. So again, please feel free to follow the link, and you can find that we have different student societies and clubs. Also, you can find additional information on career pathways and finance industries. So if you follow, if you go to the website run by Grad Australia, Job Outlook, and My Future. Also, if you want to pursue careers overseas, for example, in the US, you can find more information about career pathways, salaries on US job market. So if you follow Zapier, if you go to the Zapier website. Just a few words I already briefly mentioned, but I would like to give you a bit more details about another fascinating course that we have. It's called Student Managed Fund. So it was established several years ago. And within this fund, a small number of bright and passionate undergrad students takes responsibility for over $800,000 worth of investments. And so our students run student managed funds, and this fund pretty much reflects donations made to our university by our alumni, and our students manage this fund. So it's a real life experience to manage real funds and to invest in real financial assets and to manage real risk that investors face on financial markets. And we use the profits from this fund to support philanthropic activities. And as I just said, so students are engaged in day-to-day functions or in day-to-day operations. So they manage this fund, and students are busy with investment recommendations. They generate investment reports, they monitor investment performance, and they manage risk. Of course, students do that under the guidance of our professional managers, of our conveners. But again, I would like to highlight that it's a great opportunity to gain a first-hand experience in investment management and portfolio management, in risk analysis, in investment research, in portfolio construction, and in generating investment recommendations. So we structure student managed fund as a 12-unit course. So it typically takes 2 semesters, so 6 units a semester. So students who are engaged in these funds, they have to take it over 2 consecutive semesters. And entry, similar to honors year, entry to the SMF course is very competitive. And only a small number of places available each semester. That's why we typically have a strong demand for this fund, for this course, but we cannot accommodate all applicants. We can't satisfy all applications. That's why the entry is very competitive. So we try to choose very bright and passionate students who already built their reputation in their previous courses and their previous studies. But again, this course is very, very beneficial to our students. If you want to find out more about this course, again, please follow the links provided on this slide so you can collect more information from the fund website. And you can also look at the most recent call for application if you follow the bottom link. So hopefully you benefit from listening to my presentation. I try to briefly cover the most important aspect of this course, of this degree, and the main courses. If you have any questions, if some aspects remain unanswered, please feel free to contact me. Please feel free to ask me any questions. So you can contact me by email, and you can see my email on this slide. And you're more than welcome to contact me. And I look forward to receive inquiries from you. And again, thank you very much for interest in studying finance at ANU and your interest in taking the Bachelor of Finance course. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Adam Butt, and I'm an Associate Professor and the Head of Actuarial Studies at the Australian National University. And I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this presentation. I'm sure you'll learn a little bit about actuarial studies at the ANU. I do encourage you, after this presentation, you're going to see my email address in just a moment, actually. And if you would like to ask me any questions or reach out, then feel free to email me with any questions you might have. More than happy to answer them. If you'd like to arrange a Zoom meeting for us to discuss further, I'm more than happy to do that as well. Really want you to learn as much about the actuarial profession and actuarial studies at the ANU so you can make the right decision for you and your future career. Now, I'm going to bring up a presentation now, which you can see on screen. And there you can see my contact details if you want to reach out to me. This is what we're going to cover over the next 20 minutes or so. So we're going to talk initially about the actuarial profession itself, and then about the Bachelor of Actuarial Studies, so the undergraduate actuarial degree we have here at the ANU. And then we'll finish up with a little bit of information on qualifying as an actuary and how that overlaps with what you study during your degree at the ANU. But we'll start with an introduction to the actuarial profession. And I'm often asked, what is an actuary? And as you can see from the screen here, the Cookie Monster's a bit confused about what an actuary is. And to be completely honest, I'm not sure I've got a very, very clear definition of what an actuary is. If you go to a variety of actuarial professional association websites, you'll see many, many different answers. But let's start with the definition of the Actuaries Institute of Australia, who is the professional body for actuaries in Australia. And they say that actuaries use data for good by harnessing the evidence to navigate into the future and make a positive impact. They are called upon to give insight on complex problems. They will look at the full picture. Actuaries analyse the data and model scenarios to form robust and outcome-centred advice. What I find particularly interesting about this definition is it doesn't talk about the fields in which actuaries work. If we had a definition, say 10 to 15 to 20 years ago, the definition would have read something along the lines of actuaries work in insurance to provide financial stability to the insurance sector. But the profession itself has exploded in the range of fields in which it has influence over in recent years. And I think this is a really exciting time to be moving into the actuarial profession because of this explosion of influence. They're having increasing influence within government, for example. So the government actuary in Australia has hired a number of actuaries in recent years because governments are increasingly relying on their advice for policy recommendation. Actuaries have increasingly moved into other areas of financial services as well, and in more broadly into any area that requires data science. Now, you've probably heard the term data science used fairly regularly. It certainly is an explosion of work in that space with the amount of data that's being created by the world. And actuaries are extremely well placed to take advantage of that explosion of data. Our training and our expertise make us fantastic in using that data and understanding how it's going to benefit individuals and organizations. So we'll move on to the next slide and have a little bit of a look where actuaries work. And this is from the Actuaries Institute, so from their financial statements. And you'll see the top two rows here, general insurance and life insurance, contain around about 55% of the members in their primary role. Now, the profession itself has around about 6,000 members or so, if you add up all the numbers in the leftmost column. 55% of which are working in general life insurance, and that's what we would call the traditional areas of actuarial work. But this expansion that I was talking about a moment ago can be seen in some of the other numbers. So we look at things like investment, banking, health insurance that have really seen quite big growth in the actuarial influence. And then if we look at the secondary column here, we look at the data science number, 35%. So that's saying that 35% of members consider that their role involves data science. If we were to look at that number for younger members, which I don't have the data, but I suspect it would be well above 50% for younger members. And I also suspect that the general and life insurance primary numbers, their sum would not be 55% for younger members, but they might be closer to 35 or 40%. So younger members of the profession are really expanding the profession into different areas. And I was saying before, it's an exciting time to be in the actuarial profession, particularly for younger members, because there are such a wide variety of opportunities available for those coming out of an actuarial degree. So who should consider an actuarial career? Well, you do need to like numbers, mathematics, and statistics. It is a fairly mathematically heavy profession and degree, but it is not a pure maths degree. You will be taught how to use that mathematics and that statistics to solve real problems that is being faced by organizations and government as well. And so if you got a strong mathematical background and you're trying to work out where you might want to use that, I think the actuarial career is a really good fit for that sort of background. You do need to study. It's a difficult degree, but the rewards are very, very high as well, which I'll talk about in a moment. If you want to work in business or increasingly in government, I've talked a little bit already about the different areas in which actuaries work. It is a very well paid career. And so the initial graduate salary is probably not a huge amount different to areas like finance and commerce, typically around about maybe $80,000 or so. But it's the increases after that that make the actuarial profession extremely well paid. So if you're able to complete some additional exams, for example, and I'll talk about that in a bit more detail later, but if you can complete some additional exams, get some promotions, you can very easily double that 80,000 within about 5 years. So really good promotion opportunities, which you may not get so much of in other professions. Many actuaries work in very senior levels within organizations, chief investment officers, chief risk officers, CEOs, even. They're bright people. And so the actuarial badge is really your badge to a great level of opportunity within all sorts of different financial services and other institutions and in government. as well. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for a moment and tell you a little bit of a story about my actuarial experience that hopefully will resonate with you. You might have just read ahead on the previous slide talking about the actuarial career being very international. Now, when I was a lot younger than I am now, I qualified about 2 years ago and I was ready to go and see the world, the traditional Australian thing, spend some time overseas. I wanted to work in a job that would fund my travels, so I didn't have to live too much of a low-paid lifestyle. And so I decided that London was the place I wanted to base myself for my travels, and I contacted a number of consulting firms in London, sharing my CV, my background, and asking if they'd be interested in having me for maybe a 6 or a 12 month role. And I was able to organize a job with a very well-known consulting firm just based on the fact that I was a fellow of the Actuaries Institute, so I was qualified. They knew that I would be a valuable asset to their institution for a short period of time. And it's very, very easy to take your actuarial qualification and work in a very, very wide variety of places in the UK, in the US. If you speak another language, even better. If you don't, that's fine too. It's a fantastically international profession. So if you're wanting to work overseas, actuarial studies is fantastic. Just going to pop back to the presentation now. So if all of those things are relevant for you, then the actuarial profession is quite likely a really good option for you. Now, what's the biggest downside? Exams, they are absolutely quite difficult, but the rewards are very high as well, both in terms of payment and in terms of a rewarding career as well. So yes, you're going to work hard, but you'll be very, very highly remunerated and rewarded personally as well for it. So I think it's worth it personally. Okay, now what I'm going to do is move on to talking a little bit about the actuarial degree at the ANU. The undergraduate degree is called the Bachelor of Actuarial Studies. And so I'm just going to pull up a Chrome browser here. Let me just, there we go. We're ready to go now. Now, there's a few things I want to talk about. You can find this very, very easily online. This is just called our Programs and Courses website, and this website contains all of the information for the Bachelor of Actuarial Studies. I'm not going to cover all of it, but I will cover a few things. Firstly, the ATAR requirements. So 92 for those who have an ATAR, the equivalent IB is 37. If we click on the admission and fees here and go down a little bit further, we'll see some mathematics prerequisites as well. So if you're in the ACT, the requirements are one of these versions of the single major. We do recommend, though, that you do at least a major minor. In New South Wales, the requirement is Mathematics Advanced or equivalent and recommended Mathematics Extension 1. And you can see below here, there's a number of other requirements as well for different jurisdictions, which I won't go through all of them, but they're there for you to have a look at. I do want to talk a little bit about the mathematics requirements here and the recommendations. You do need to be strong in mathematics. And so if you're just an average mathematics advanced student, say, for example, in New South Wales, then the actuarial degree may not be the best fit for you. The reason that we have the requirement set up this way is that we know a lot of students choose to do just 2 units or a single major of mathematics because they want to have a wide variety of courses within their Year 12 experience. And so they'd be very capable of doing a high level of mathematics, but they choose to do the lower level for that reason. And they are perfect students. If you're in that position, you'd fit in the actuarial degree perfectly. But we do recommend Extension 1. You'll be fine if you've just done advanced as long as you really like mathematics and you're good at it. We teach you more mathematics during the degree, and so everything you need, you'll be provided with once you get here. Okay, let's pop back now to the degree structure. So I'm going to click on study here. There's a whole list of requirements here, which I'll talk briefly through, but I'm not going to talk about in a massive amount of detail. To complete an undergraduate degree at the ANU, you have to do 144 units, which is a bit confusing, but each course is 6 units long, so that's 24 courses. over 3 years, so 8 courses per year, 2 semesters, 4 courses per semester. That's the sort of the standard structure. Then you've got a list of compulsory courses and then some electives as well. But then if you go further down, you see a standard structure here. So this is the typical structure an undergraduate student doing a single degree will follow. You can see there's a little bit of space for electives here. There's also some finance courses, so FinM courses that they're not part of the compulsory list that you can see here, but they're part of this elective list here. And the reason we structure the degree that way is that in order to be able to complete a flexible double degree, which we'll talk about in a moment, it may not be possible to take all of these finance courses, but you do need to take all of the finance courses in order to get the highest possible completion of towards the qualification, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. So most students will do these finance courses, for example, and this accounting course, BizN 1001, and you can see them here within this degree structure. Now let's come back to flexible double degrees. This structure you can see here, 144 units, some compulsory courses, and then free 48 units or 1 year of electives. And that's a very, very standard structure across the ANU. 3-year degree, 2 years of compulsory courses, 1 year of electives that you all mash together. If you want to take a flexible double degree, you take the 2 years of compulsory courses and the 2 years of compulsory courses, mash them together, and you end up with a 4-year flexible double degree, except for law and a couple of other options, which are 5 years. Very, very flexible at the ANU. You can do just about anything. I'm sure we've had an actuarial visual arts. No, we have had an actuarial visual arts student. We have not yet had an actuarial music student. Hopefully we might see that in future. The most common flexible double degrees are with commerce, finance, applied data analytics are very, very common, but you can mix and match anything. And in terms of the entry requirements, they'll always be at the ATAR of the higher degree. Now, actuarial is one of the highest entry requirements at the ANU. Law is a little bit higher, so if you do actuarial law, you'll have to meet the law ATAR. But apart from that, generally, this will be the same for the single or the double degree in actuarial studies. Another thing worth noting is if you're really interested in an actuarial degree, but say you missed the ATAR, for example, there are lots of other ways of getting in. You can start with, say, for example, a commerce or a finance degree and switch in after 1 year. Very, very common. The other thing worthwhile noting as well in relation to single versus double degrees, I don't really have a strong view as to whether you'd want to do a single versus a double degree, but it's very, very easy to switch. If you start a single degree, but you really enjoy some electives, you can expand and turn that into a double degree after you get here very easily. Vice versa, if you start a double degree, but you only really enjoy one of them, you can convert back to a single degree very, very easily. I say that to tell you not to stress out about whether you choose a single or a double degree. It doesn't really matter that much. If you're interested in actuarial studies, pick either single or double, and you can decide what pathway you want to head in after you get here. Let's now pop back to, I might actually stop sharing just for a moment so you can see my face. I want to talk a little bit about why you might want to do actuarial studies at the ANU versus somewhere else. There are a number of other accredited universities to offer actuarial studies other than the ANU. I think the reason that ANU is such a great place to study is firstly, our location is fantastic. I mean, just look at the background that I've got behind me on this particular slide. It is a beautiful, beautiful spot. Lots and lots of outdoor activities, bike riding, hiking, 4 seasons. So we have the full experience of winter, summer. We're not far from the beach. We're not far from Sydney. Really, really cool place to live, work, and study. I moved down to the ANU to do a PhD about 20 years ago. Expected to stay 4 or 5 years and go back to Sydney, which is where I come from originally, and I've been here for 20 years, and I don't think I'll be going to Sydney anytime soon. I love living here, and it's a great place to study as well. The campus is really close to the city. A really high proportion of our students live on campus, so the on-campus vibe is absolutely fantastic. Lots of student societies. The Actuarial Student Society is very active. Lots of other student societies as well. Lots of really cool things going on. Even if you're not planning on living on campus, you get caught up in it anyway because there's so much going on. I envy the students here at the ANU a little bit. I was very much a commuting student when I went to university and didn't really get involved, but I see virtually everyone here getting involved in some way or another, and it's a great place to do that. Now, in terms of our teaching, firstly, the ANU is very highly ranked, and so it's a fantastic university to study at, globally renowned, and a degree from the ANU will put you in a great place no matter what you choose to do in future. The actuarial staff have a very, very strong desire to prepare our students for the workforce. Most of us have got industry experience, and so we make sure that our teaching aligns with what's happening in industry. We are very passionate about our teaching as well. Many of us, including myself, have either ANU or national teaching awards. And so you get a really, really good teaching experience here from the actuarial staff at the ANU. And furthermore, there's a lot of other things going on within the College of Business and Economics that help prepare you for the workforce as well. So our employment team does a huge amount of work with various programs to prepare you for the workforce, and those things are all available to all students here and highly recommended that you get involved if you do study at the ANU. We have internships and lots of other really interesting stuff going on that help prepare you for the workforce. I'm going to share my screen again and go back to the presentation. So we've just covered that. I'm now going to talk a little bit about qualifying as an actuary. And so to do that, I'm going to bring up the Actuaries Institute webpage. So again, you can find this pretty easily by Googling how to become an actuary. This is in Australia. So if I slide down here, you'll see there's three words: foundation, actuary, and fellowship. You will be an actuary if you complete the actuary program. The fellowship is a higher level of qualification that is, most actuaries do go through the fellowship, and there are certain jobs where you have to be a fellow. The foundation program here is the closest aligned to the ANU Actuarial Studies degree. So I'm going to move on to this web page now, which talks about the Actuaries Institute requirements and alignment with ANU study and our courses. So if we look at the foundation program first, you'll see 6 institute subjects here on the right-hand side of the screen. And you can go and take exams with the institute to pass those courses. But these courses here, and you would have seen some of these codes from the Bachelor of Actuarial Studies degree, if you do well enough in these courses, then you become exempt from these exams. And this is the entirety of the foundation program. So you can complete a degree here, do well enough in all these courses, and get exempt from the whole of the foundation program. Then there's the actuary program. We offer courses to meet 2 of those subjects, which are on the right-hand side here. So the actuarial control cycle and data analytics principles. That name has recently been changed to data science principles. So again, during your degree, you can do these subjects here and become exempt from these 2 exams. After that, there's a number of exams that are offered by the institute only. The ANU nor any other university is involved in that process. And that typically is going to take around, say, 3 years or so to complete those courses up to a fellowship level. You're likely to get pay rises and promotions based on completing those exams. And that's what really puts you on the path to increased remuneration, but also increased experience and a really fulfilling and successful career. So that's the process. You study at ANU, and then you have probably a minimum of 3 years. It might take a little bit longer, maybe a tad shorter if you're really smart, but 3 years or so to complete the actuary and the fellowship program with the Actuaries Institute after that. So popping back to the presentation. So we've talked about these 2 things now. I'd like to finish by talking about our accreditation with the US Society of Actuaries. So, I talked before about the international nature of the profession. Well, we're also accredited with the Society of Actuaries in the US. And so, there are a couple of web pages I want to show you here that are relevant. If I can just pull them up here. So here is the Society of Actuaries, their pathway. ASA stands for associate. So it's like the first two parts of the Actuaries Institute is what you can see here. And I'm not going to go through this in a massive amount of detail, but there's a number of exams you have to pass. And then after you've done that, you become an associate of the Society of Actuaries. Well, we also have accreditation with the Society of Actuaries. And so a number of these exams that you can see here, you can become exempt from. So this is called the University Earned Credit Program. So do well in these subjects and you become exempt from the exams that you can see here. So again, a really good example of the internationalness of the profession and the opportunities there, particularly relevant for international students who might be considering working in the US after they've finished. I encourage you to come along to our open day if you're able to check out the campus. There'll be a number of actuarial staff there, including myself, who you can ask questions to if you'd like to. Another way you can get some more information about the profession and the degree is to come to our Actuarial Experience Day, which I'm going to share on screen now. And the details that you can see at the moment are from 2024, but there'll be new details updated pretty soon. We typically hold it in the third term holidays, and so I do encourage you to come along to that experience day. We get a whole bunch of people from industry to come along. You can meet other students who are considering the degree, and we do lots of really cool interactive activities. So I absolutely encourage you to come along to that. Now, that's about it from me in terms of what I want to cover about the actuarial profession and actuarial studies here at the ANU. I hope you found it useful. Please feel free to get in contact with me if you've got further questions. I hope that we might see you at the ANU at some point in future, but even if we don't, either way, I wish you all the best with your future career and your future studies, and best of luck. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tao Zhou, and I'm the convener of the Bachelor of Statistics at the Australian National University. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation about undergraduate study in statistics. Now, in a moment, I'm going to provide you with my contact details. If you get any questions at the end of this presentation, you're more than welcome to send me an email. But for the moment, I'll take you through this short presentation about studying statistics at the Australian National University. I'm going to switch across to a presentation now. So as you can see, that's my email address, which is in the presentation slide. And feel free to contact me if you get any questions. The title of my presentation today is Statistics, Preparing for the Data-Driven World. What we are going to be covering in today's presentation is a little bit about an introduction to statistics itself and also the career as a statistician. Nowadays, statistics is widely used, and statistics is basically the most important single skill useful in virtually every field of study. For example, in biology, economics, actuarial studies, etc. The first question that I would like to ask in the presentation is, what is statistics? Now, I know it's not a live video, so maybe you might want to press pause for a moment. Have you ever thought about it before you listen to this presentation? Maybe statistics in your mind are just some figures quoted in the news, like the example in the slides. But they are actually data or basic summary of data. In the case of the slide, we have the employee satisfaction summary of data from 1% to 2%. But is statistics just summary of data? The answer is no. Modern statistics actually builds models to explain the patterns of data. For instance, in the slide, we have simple straight line model to describe relationships between y and x, which is called regression analysis. We also have complicated modeling in statistics like deep learning used in AlphaGo, ChatGPT, and other large language models. Those models are built for the prediction of data and also can help give a better visualization of data. All that I'm showing now are data visualizations established based on statistical modeling. This can largely help us better understand the data, especially nowadays. We have large volumes of data everywhere. Now, you should understand what indeed drives statistics. The data. But let me ask you another trivial question. What are the data nowadays? In your mind, maybe data are just a spreadsheet of figures which are saved in computers. In the slide, this is the supercomputer of National Computational Infrastructure in Australia, which is actually located at ANU campus. If the data volumes are too large, data can be stored in supercomputers like this, but is that all for data? The answer is no. In our daily life, we have different forms of data. We can have something like stock prices, which look more like data that we usually see, but we can have more. For instance, what we comment, forward, or sum up in Twitter or X are all text form of data. We call those text data. Voice and also music can be data as well. Further, the gene expressions and the image, such as handwritten photos and even including videos, are all data. Almost everything in our cell phones can be data, which are actually being analyzed by those well-known internet companies like Facebook or Meta, Google, Amazon, and Apple. So basically, data are anything that can be recorded. As the title of this presentation, we are now living in this data-driven world. After seeing all of those data in our daily life, a natural question is, can we make value from data? The answer is yes. To realize it, we need statistics. Statistics provides a scientific way of analyzing data and making value from data. You may have heard artificial intelligence a lot nowadays. As the economics Nobel Prize winner Sargent said, artificial intelligence is actually statistics. As a consequence, statistics now is more and more popular as the leading part of data science. Let me introduce more about statistics for you. You may have many stereotypes for statistics. The first one may be that statistics is dull and useless. However, nowadays, obviously, we are surrounded by all kinds of complex and interesting data in our life. Data analysis basically cannot be done without statistics. So no, statistics is not dull and useless. The second one may be that statistics is hard to understand. In fact, statistics just provides a way to make decisions in the face of uncertainty, which is just like our daily life. It is quite easy for us to use our life experience to help understand statistics. So no, statistics is not hard to understand. The third one is statistics equal to mathematics. This is not true. Statistics can never be done without computer science and real data background. Statistics is a cross-disciplinary science which focuses more on real-world problems, but not just mathematical derivations. The last one is something I have shown you earlier. Statistics is not data, but a way to interpreting the complex, massive data information that we receive every day. Now, let us look at some truths of statistics. Firstly, statistics can help all of science. Nowadays, statistics has become necessary for almost all science subjects, obviously because all science subjects have data. For our real life, statistics can help us understand the climate change, can help government make policy, and also can help pharmaceutical companies bring new drugs and vaccine. While it is true that statistics alone will not cure cancer or COVID-19, once a potential vaccine or cure is discovered, statistics will be instrumental in convincing health authorities to make the vaccine or cure available and will help the pharmaceutical companies assess the severity and the likelihood of nasty side effects. In conclusion, if we have data, we need statistics. When we learn any science subject, if we do not have statistic training, horrible mistakes can happen by just simply looking at the data. So where can we get proper training of statistics? Exactly, you can get the training from the Bachelor of Statistics program. The basic structure of the Bachelor of Statistics program at the Australian National University includes the theoretical core courses, applied core courses, and the computation core courses. You can have a look at this short version of the course list. If you would like to know more information about the program and courses, you can click this link in the slides. It provides all the information that you need for the Bachelor of Statistics program. Specifically, there are 4 majors in the program. The first 2 are more applied majors, and the last 2 are more theoretical majors. Currently, statistical data analytics is the most popular major of the Bachelor of Statistics. The detailed information for these 4 majors is also in the link on this slide. If you choose ANU, it is also possible to consider the Bachelor of Statistics as a double degree in your undergraduate studies. For the double degree, the Bachelor of Statistics can be combined with another single degree at ANU as long as you meet the entry requirements of each degree. If you determine to do a double degree, you save your time to complete both degrees in 4 years rather than 6. Many single degrees can be combined with the Bachelor of Statistics. To know which degree can be combined with the Bachelor of Statistics, you just need to click the link in the slides and then click Find My Double Degree in the web page. Many of you may consider a double degree like finance, commerce, law, computer science, and a whole bunch of other options as well. And the statistics degree can be combined with just about anything at the ANU for a flexible double degree program. You can absolutely do a Bachelor of Statistics and Bachelor of Music if you want to. I'm not sure if anyone has done that before, but it is absolutely an option to you. So now let us talk about the future career of statistics. After the Bachelor of Statistics program, you can become a statistician, data scientist, data analyst, and so on. And there are a wide range of companies which will welcome our graduates of statistics, like banks, consulting firms, biotechs, Google, or Facebook Meta. In 2009, the famous economist Warren said, "The sexy job in the next 10 years will be statisticians," in New York Times. Now, after more than 15 years have passed, we have data scientists and data analysts for the top 10 jobs of 2024. In this news of July 17th, 2024, data analyst is currently within the top 10 most in-demand jobs with average salaries given above. In summary, statistics-related jobs are strong in top 10. Recently, I also randomly searched Indeed.com for data scientist jobs. This is the searching result. It seems that the demand for the data scientist in Australia is huge. So now, why to choose statistics at ANU? Firstly, we have the best research academics and professors in Australia and also in the world. Let us have a look at the ERA ratings. ERA means Excellence in Research Assessment. This assessment is done by Australian government. In the most recent ERA rating, ANU Statistics got the rating of 5, which means well above the world standard, and is the top level in Australia. Instead of research, the Bachelor of Statistics program is under the College of Business and Economics at ANU. As part of the Bachelor of Statistics program and courses, the College of Business and Economics, a special industry project, and the College of Business and Economics internship programs provide plenty of opportunities for our students to connect to the real industry companies. Then the next question is how to get in. The admission requirements can be found in the Bachelor of Statistics main webpage. For instance, the ATAR requirements and the IB requirements are listed there to be able to get into the degree in 2025. There are also some mathematics prerequisites as well, which I believe resides at the admission and fees of the webpage. If you have more concerns, have a look at the website and it will largely help you make a decision. So that's all for me in terms of what I want to tell you about the statistics degree and how that might help you to pursue a career as a statistician or a data scientist. And please, I do encourage you, if you have any further questions that you might want to ask, then grab my email address and send me an email. I'm very happy to answer your questions in details. And now let me finish this presentation. I hope you found this presentation interesting. I do wish you will consider studying statistics at Australian National University. It's a fantastic place to study statistics, and it's a fantastic place to work as well. I hope I can see you here at some time in the future. Thank you so much.
In terms of points of contact, I'm the program convener. My name's Dr. Dean Katselis. My contact details are here. I am located in the CBE building. The best way to contact me is, of course, via email. So what is my role? So I'm the point of contact for questions regarding the BFES and administrative matters thereof. So that includes queries about the program's requirements, structure, and mentors. So I'll discuss what the mentor program is shortly. This is something that is unique in the college to the BFES program, and it's ultimately it's up to you whether you wish to take advantage of this. It's not mandatory, but the idea is you will be have the opportunity to be paired up with another academic or an academic in the college in the discipline of your choice, and you can pretty much use that connection as an opportunity to ask questions related to the discipline that interests you most. And of course, advice about transitioning to the honours year. So it is a 4-year program. It is implied that in undertaking this program, you will continue through to honours, provided you make you meet the hurdle requirement. You need to achieve a weighted average mark of at least 75% after your first 2 years in order to continue for the remainder of the program. Once you achieve that, you will then, after your 3rd year, transition into honours, and I'll talk about what that entails. And I'll then hand you over at that point in your program to the honours conveners for your respective discipline of interest. The program convener is also the point of contact for prospective students. So it is assumed that this presentation is being viewed by predominantly students that are incoming into the program, so you are in fact enrolled in the BFES program, but it's also of interest to prospective students that may in fact be interested in the program, not enrolled at this point. If you are in that latter category, do feel free to send me an email if you have any questions as well. So again, I'm the point of contact for enrolled students in the program to help you with your progression through the program, make sure that that there's no unanswered questions as far as that is concerned, and also prospective students. So what is the BFES? So the BFES is CBE, or the College of Business and Economics, elite 4-year program or 4-year degree. So it's an elite 4-year degree, has a rigorous quantitative emphasis, designed to prepare students for specialized careers in government or industry. It's quite, this could be applied in many different fields, but the bottom line is that you'll be essentially moving into careers that have a fairly heavy quantitative emphasis, and essentially careers at a high level, so to speak. So ideally, what we'd like to see of the BFES students throughout the course of the program is that they engage, or you engage, if you're existing students, engage with other students in the program and basically take on a leadership kind of role. Make sure you, as you move through your program, that you take this very, very seriously and you provide something of an example. Remember, it is a high-level degree and we expect very high outcomes from the students. Not an easy program. So it does require a lot of work. And the best way to get through this, based on experience, because I've been the convener since the inception of the program, is to identify the other students in the program and keep in contact. The courses are not easy, and it is that way for a reason, because what we want to do is we want to graduate students that really do have a high level of achievement relative to the other single degrees. So that being said, it is a 4-year elite degree, first 3 years being coursework, and a 4th year in honours. So the second point here, the program consists of courses in finance, economics and statistics. And from these, students will identify a discipline of particular interest for the purpose of identifying a mentor, and ultimately in your 4th year, the discipline in which you want to pursue honours in. So for the first point there, or sorry, for the former point that I've raised there being the mentor. So the idea behind the mentoring program, as I've already mentioned briefly, is you will identify a discipline of interest from the 3 that comprise the program. So finance, economics, or statistics. What you will then do, you'll then contact me, or and what I'll generally do is suggest that you reach out to academics in those disciplines and introduce yourself and mention that you're looking for a mentor and you're a BFES program, that you're a student in the BFES program. You can email me for assistance, but the idea here is, we're not going to really worry about this so much until really the beginning of second semester. I'd like you to get settled in, get your first semester done, and then we'll talk about the mentor program. It's really good. The students have had nothing but good things to say about it. And really, it's a one-on-one opportunity that you have with your mentor to ask questions that are discipline specific. And you can meet with your mentor as little or as much as you want. You don't even need to take advantage of it if you don't want to, but it's there if you do. The final point here, the 4th year consists of an honours year, and this involves completing coursework and a research thesis in one of these 3 disciplines, finance, economics, or statistics. So it is a very exciting program. I've personally supervised a number of BFES students in their honours year. It has been a thoroughly fulfilling thing on my part, but the students have found it really exciting and enjoyable and fulfilling on their part too. So it is a difficult path in that you do need to do a lot of work, but the end result, I guarantee, is well worth it, and you're going to come out so much better at the other end. So take all of this seriously. Remember, I'm telling you at the outset, it is a tough program, and the entry requirements are very high in this program, and that's with good reason, because we do understand, we do want to produce graduates that really are elite or very high caliber. So the coursework sequence is as follows. So again, it's a 4-year program. So what we have is 3 years of coursework. Now, this is identical to the course sequence provided on the ANU course programs and courses website. Familiarize yourself with this. I strongly discourage you from deviating from this. And this is the point at which I really have to say to all incoming students, especially, that it is a very prescriptive program. What that means is what you see is what you get. You cannot change courses around. You can change the order of things, provided they don't break the sequence. So later down the track, there are courses that require prerequisites. So you kind of have to do the prerequisites along the way, because what you don't want is to have a situation where you need to do prerequisites in your third year and then you may need to take extra time to finish. We don't want that to happen. So this is the course sequence that you are expected to follow. If you do wish to change things around, there are a few switches you can do. For example, courses like investments, you could really take in your second or third year. Corporate Val, you could switch that around. You could take that in either first or second semester. Same with investments, same with derivatives. I'm talking from the finance perspective or the finance perspective. There are several courses in that category. So you can switch those around. Before you do, make sure you make contact with me, because I don't want to have a situation where you kind of break the prereqs and you end up with a little bit of a messy completion. This is the cleanest way in which you can complete your degree. Now, electives. A lot of students ask me whether they can do electives either within or outside of the college. Can they substitute courses that are in this structure? So the answer is no. You cannot switch out any courses. It is a highly prescriptive program. There is some latitude for electives, and I'll point those out now. This econ elective, that allows you to do an economics-based elective, so either ideally one with an econ prefix in the course code, or another course offered by the Research School of Economics with their approval. You can't go outside of that, and that's quite strict. Okay. Another thing is there's a math list provided on programs and courses. You can choose from a number of courses there. And down here in your third year, second semester, you have the choice of Stat 2032 or Stat 3040. Other than that, there is no other flexibility offered in the course. And that's with good reason, because the program, has been designed to provide a very specific outcome. And in doing these courses in this order, that is how you will achieve that. Finally, in your fourth year, having gotten through the first 3 years, and most students do, most students that drop out or transfer out, students don't necessarily fail out. It's very, very rare in this course, because we do set the bar extremely high at the outset as far as entry requirements are concerned. But yes, some students have the realization, perhaps at the end of the first year, I want a little bit more flexibility. I want more electives to be able to choose, and they may decide to go into another program offered in the college, and that usually happens in the first year. But once students get through the first year, those students that remain generally complete the course, again, because the entry requirements are quite high to begin with. So the expectation is, in setting that bar very high in the beginning, that you are able to achieve or complete these courses, usually at a very high level. So BFES students perform very, very well, but again, a lot of work is required. And one of the biggest questions that I have is over here, may I change Math Trip 1.5 for a different math course or Math Trip 1.6? The answer to that, unfortunately, is no. These two courses are mandatory. You have to do those two courses. They do require a lot of work. Don't get disheartened, because every single BFES student has been in the same position for that. So persevere. If you're really struggling, make contact and we can have a chat. Okay, so sometimes just having a chat alleviates some of the anxiety that you might have, because I've spoken to students for many years. I know what they've gone through. Okay, so you're not alone. Make sure you reach out, and I'm happy to have a chat with you. So course sequence, again, I'm just going to recap here what I said on the previous slide. The program is very, very sensitive to changes in the course sequence due to the prerequisite requirements. So I will allow students to change some things, but you've got to run it by me first. So for example, some of those courses, a few of those courses, you can pretty much take, in either your second or third year in first or second semester. That allows you to change a couple of things around. Other than that, nothing is to change. It can't change. And that's, in order for you to graduate, we really do need you to undertake all of those courses. Again, you do need to run by me first and make sure it's all okay in terms of switching the positioning of some of those courses. but don't change anything because you do have to do all of them. So again, please contact myself, the program convener, prior to making any notable sequence changes to ensure that doing so is okay. For this reason, the sequence presented on the previous slide and on the Programs and Courses BFES website, that should be considered the default structure. Very importantly, just below here, under Note, you must achieve, so I'll move out of the way so you can see that. You must achieve a weighted average mark of at least 75% in the first 120 units of the course. This is important because if you don't, you're actually going to be transitioned automatically into the Bachelor of Economics program. So by the end of the semester one of your third year, by semester one of your third year, in order to continue in the program, you need to achieve that result there. There it is. Okay, and that's out of my hands. That's a policy that's in place, and that transition takes place automatically. You'll still finish your degree, but just not the BFES. You'll complete as a B Eco student. Now, I mentioned academic mentors, so I'll talk a little bit more about this. Each BFES student will be paired up with an academic in either finance, economics, or statistics who will act as a mentor for the first 3 years of the program. They may go on to also be your honours supervisor, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. So think of this as being an opportunity to one-on-one have discussion about any questions you might have, discipline-specific questions that you might have regarding the direction that you're going, and things that may be sort of contemporaneous issues in the discipline. This person is the one that you'd ask. And it's something, again, it is unique to the BFES program. It's not offered to other students in the college. I do strongly urge you to take advantage of it. Not all students do, and that's fine. It's entirely up to you, but it's there if you need it. So the purpose of this is to give BFES students access to renowned researchers in their field and to discuss the current state of the discipline. To allow students to decide which discipline is of interest in of the three, being finance, economics, or statistics, it is expected that mentors will be arranged early in semester 2. So don't worry about this at this stage. You may start thinking about it if you wish informally. What I will do at the beginning of semester 2 of 2022, I'll send you all out an email and I'll explain what the process involved will be. What about additional information for commencing students? So this may be overwhelming for you. Where do you start? So firstly, familiarise yourself with the other students in the program. So what I'm going to do is I'll also email out early in the semester a welcome again, introduce myself. What I urge you to do is to try and identify the other students in the program. We'll work out a way of doing that as early as possible. Prior students have conveyed that doing so was invaluable for the purpose of establishing study groups and for general support. I'll also try to get some students that are further along in their program, so perhaps some second and third year, maybe even some honours students to reach out as well, and they'll provide some reflection on what the experience was like for them. And I think this is really important because it is easy to feel alone, especially in a program that is such a high-level program. Some of the courses especially are quite challenging, and everyone, I guarantee you, everyone found it challenging. So no matter what, no matter what position you're in coming into the program, there is a lot of work that's involved in getting through, and it's just nice to know that there are others before you and others that are undertaking it at the same time that feel the same way and they're in the same boat. Start thinking about mentor preferences before semester 1. Again, it's not something to stress too much about at all. I just want you to think informally about really which discipline interests you the most, finance, economics, or statistics. This does not mean that your honours year has to be in that discipline. Your honours year can be in any of those disciplines that you like. And you may wish to change mentors down the track to a different discipline, and that is fine. But just to get the ball rolling, think about it for semester 1, and that way we can sort of arrange a mentor for you so you can get some value out of that aspect of the program. Remember, the mentor program is relatively informal and has absolutely no bearing on other aspects of your program. Again, be mindful of the 75% WAM or weighted average mark requirement. The best way to kind of get this out of the way and not worry about it at all is really to study hard as early as possible so you won't have to worry about this down the track. So from the get-go, take it very seriously. Make sure that you put as much effort as possible, especially into some of those first-year courses. Some of them are you should find fairly straightforward. Some are tough. The math courses require more work, but make sure you give it your all. That way you are sort of scoring points as far as your WAM is concerned, nice and early, so you don't need to try and make up for it down the track. Finally, there will be a limited number of BFES scholarships available to commencing students, and they are valued at $10,000 each, to be given half and half semester 1 and semester 2. That's the way they're going to be paid. There is no need to apply, as they'll be automatically assigned based on academic merit, and students that will be granted these BFES scholarships will be contacted early in the semester. So you don't need to worry about that at all. So that's it for this brief presentation. Again, if you're coming into the BFES program this semester, I welcome you. I will send out an email early in the semester just to touch base and to reiterate some of the points I've made here. But otherwise, I'll look forward to meeting you throughout your program, and I wish you all the best in your studies. Again, welcome to the program.